Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of GodSaw's Turnbuckle, the wrestling video podcast I run here on youtube.com/UC Campbell. And this episode is going to be based around Hell in the Cell predictions. So, yes, I'm going to try to predict to the best of my abilities, which usually ends out being very poorly at any given point in time, the happenings at Hell in the Cell for the WWE pay-per-view. So we're going to go ahead and start right off with the pre-show match. I don't think this is going to be too hard to see where they're going with this one. It's Chad Gable going up against... Oh, not Chad Gable, but not just Chad Gable. It's Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin going up against the Hype Bros. I feel like they're continuing on this storyline of a potential heel turn for the Hype Bros. Not just for like one of them, maybe both of them. At some point in time. So I think they will continue that on here. So it's going to be Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin going over. I feel like this is probably one of those matches that you kind of see where the storyline's going, and it seems a very safe go of it for predicting that Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin will go over in this match. So on to what will be on the main card. You have Randy Orton going up against Rusev. We've been basically going back and forth now, at least in a certain sense of everything. You have Randy Orton win really quick at SummerSlam, and you had Rusev win real quick on SmackDown recently. You've had Rusev basically have his Rusev Day celebration interrupted on multiple occasions now, or not multiple occasions, but from the week before, and then Randy Orton kind of went over tonight as well, also standing off Rusev towards the end. So when it comes down to this match, I honestly feel like they could, if they just felt like doing it, they could just put Randy Orton over. I do feel like they could go that way, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think they're going to do something that they haven't fully done with Rusev in quite some time, and that's have him win the feud, or at least gain the advantage in the feud. Right now he's 1-1. Most of the times in most feuds now he doesn't really ever gain the advantage in any way. It's been a while since we've seen that. I think they're going to try to rebuild Rusev in some way, shape, or form, and I think they're going to give him the win here. So I am going with Rusev, actually. I went with Rusev at SummerSlam, and we saw where that went. I'm going with Rusev again this time. Oh boy. Well, we're sticking with it. We're sticking with this one. We're going to stick with this one. I feel like they're going to give Rusev a little bit of a bone here to continue on with either this feud or gain more momentum going into another feud wherever he's going to end up going next. So up next is Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Do I even really need to explain why Bobby Roode's going to win this one? I really don't think so. No, Bobby Roode is definitely my pick here. It's his first pay-per-view match. They're going to put him over. They're just going to put him over on this one. The only thing that's going to be interesting to see is, and I hope to everything, because I think at the end of his promo this week with Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler said he was going to have an entrance that was absolutely insane for the pay-per-view. I hope he comes out to no music and just comes out to black boots and black tights. That would be amazing. It would be amazing if they just went that way with it. Alrighty. But yeah, Bobby Roode's definitely going over in this match. So, this brings us to the AJ Styles Baron Corbin match. Now, it does not look like we're going to get that triple threat that I think a lot of people were looking for, or at least a good chunk of people were looking for. It looks like it's just going to stay one-on-one now. I guess I could splice in something if it changes before I release this, but it does not look like we're going to get the triple threat with Ty Dillinger in there. It looks like it's just going to be a singles match with AJ Styles and Baron Corbin. Again, I don't think it's time to take the United States title off of AJ Styles at this point in time. You kind of went with that flip-flopping the title a for a good chunk of the time with him and Kevin Owens just recently. I feel like it's now time to kind of keep that belt on somebody for a good chunk of time. Now, granted, they could do that with Baron Corbin as well, and maybe they will somewhere down the road. I just don't think Hell in a Cell is going to be the pay-per-view for that. So, I am going with AJ Styles in this particular match. And we'll see if this one gets changed into a triple threat or something in that sense down the road here. So, this brings us to the first of the 2 Hell in a Cell matches of the night, which this one's going to be with the tag team titles. That's something we haven't seen in quite some time. A tag team Hell in a Cell match. And it's going to be with the New Day and the Usos. I feel like they're billing this as the end. And now, granted, they could have the Usos go over, but if they're billing this as the end, I feel like they're going to have the New Day go over in this one, especially with this whole aspect of the Usos calling the Cell their penitentiary and everything in that sense, that they're going to be locked in there with them and everything to go on that one. So I feel like this one definitely has potential of being match of the night, if not almost guaranteed. Like the matches that these 2 teams have put on ever since they've started feuding with each other, the one at Battleground, the one at SummerSlam, even though it was on the kickoff show, the street fight that they had, all of these really exciting, fun matches that we've had inside the tag team division. And to be quite honest with you, I could watch these guys. I could watch both of these teams continue on with a feud if they so wish. But they're billing this one as the end, so I'm going with the New Day. So they're not gonna have this whole the title match, title switch without like a rematch clause or something to go along with that, because they really haven't even. They didn't even put that inside of a contract. It's like, oh, this is the absolute last match between both of them. So yes, going with the New Day on the tag team title match. So this brings us to the SmackDown Women's title match. Charlotte going up against Natalya. This is an interesting match. There's a piece of me that wants to say Natalya is going over in this match, and maybe that's going to be the case. Maybe. I could definitely see ways that they have Natalya go over, and then they just continue on the feud with her and Charlotte. But the way that they're teasing everything, I feel like it's time for them to do the Money in the Bank cash-in. Now, like I said, I do not feel like this is going to be one of those cases that it's going to be a failed cash-in. So I do feel like Carmella could be cashing in tonight. But for the aspects of this match itself, I feel like they're going to have her cash in on Charlotte. So I'm going with Charlotte to win this match. And then potentially the cash-in right afterwards. But like I said, I also see that they could probably keep this on Natalya. I mean, she did just get the title from Naomi at SummerSlam. They had her successfully defended against Naomi, so maybe they want to have her have a little bit of a longer title run than just a couple of months. But I could also see them putting this belt on Charlotte and then having Carmella come in, swoop in during the celebration, and take the title away at that point in time. Now, granted, they could do that with Natalya too. They could do it either way. I feel like it's almost time for that cash-in to happen. And we'll see if they decide to go with that on SummerSlam or anything in that sense. Or not SummerSlam, but Hell in a Cell. So we'll see if they end up doing that on pay-per-view night. But yeah, for the match itself, I feel like it's going to be Charlotte going over, and then afterwards Carmella coming in to cash in Money in the Bank. Or we might get a failed cash-in. By failed cash-in, I mean the ring bell never rings, something in that sense. Something goes awry when the cash-in's about to happen, and we still have Carmella with the briefcase afterwards. But I feel like that's going to come into play in some way on Hell in a Cell night. So this brings us to the WWE title match. Yes, this is not billed as the main event, which, to be honest, that's been the way the entire Jinder Mahal run's been going as of late, with the exception of a couple pay-per-views where he actually was the main event. The WWE title is not really billed as the main event. Now, even as this for a SmackDown show, a SmackDown only show, you would expect the world title to be billed that way, but it is not. So it is Jinder Mahal going up against Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, I might be in the minority on this one, but to a certain degree, I kind of like the Jinder Mahal run at this point in time. In that sense, and I know there's a lot of other people that have been digging it as well. Not that many people, but I do feel like it's time. It is time to get that title off of him. It does. I'm not going to say he's lessening the title or anything in that sense. It just at this point they've built it up so much with like the way the character's been going as of late. It's like they're kind of like throwing him into almost a downward spiral that he could lose the title to Shinsuke Nakamura here. Now, I went with Shinsuke for SummerSlam. I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura again. I feel like they're going to put the title on him tonight. And if they are not, well, the show's not tonight, but they're going to put the title on him on that night. And if they don't put the title on him on that night, maybe the rumors of Jinder Mahal holding on to that title until WrestleMania are coming true in some way, shape, or form. But I feel like I feel like they're getting to the point that they are kind of recognizing maybe this isn't fully working or something in that sense, or it didn't garner what they were expecting, and they may feel like it's time to get that title off of not off of Shinsuke, but off of Jinder Mahal at this point in time. All in all, like I said, I have actually been kind of digging the run with Jinder Mahal, but I do feel like it is time to get that title off of him, so I am going with Shinsuke Nakamura on this one. And so this brings us to the main event of the night, which is going to be the second of two Hell in a Cell matches. Kevin Owens going up against Shane McMahon. And, you know, in all fairness on this one, we saw what happened on SmackDown. And conventional wisdom tells you that Shane McMahon's going over in this match in that facet because he had the crap beaten out of him on the pay-per-view. But I don't feel like this is going to be the full end of this whole Shane McMahon Kevin Owens feud. It just doesn't feel like it's the end in any way. So I'm actually going to go with Kevin Owens in this match. Just off the basis that, you know, you have Survivor Series coming up. You could do something with a Survivor Series traditional tag team match. Something in that sense. And that's what you're going to end up getting. So definitely going Kevin Owens here. Even though conventional wisdom tells me one thing, I'm going to go with the other thing on this one. Especially since I'm technically going with conventional wisdom on a couple of other matches on here, especially the Charlotte and the Shinsuke Nakamura one. Those picks, kind of going with conventional wisdom. So I'm going to go away from conventional wisdom on this one. And I'm actually going to pick Kevin Owens to win the Hell in a Cell match. Now, could I be totally wrong? Yeah, you're absolutely right. I could be totally wrong. But we'll see how that one ends out going out. I mean, I'm just trying to predict where they're going with this particular show. And usually it goes badly. It really does. But with that being said, that's pretty much everything for the predictions for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. We'll see how everything goes off on Sunday. I feel like we have the potential for a pretty decent show in some way. But we'll see how everything ends up playing off going on to Sunday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you guys for watching. We will have live reactions on Sunday night as well. Over on my... We're going to try it over on my Twitch page. We're going to try it over on my Twitch page for the next couple of pay-per-views and see how everything plays off on there. I will be continuing to do live streams for the Raw reviews and SmackDown reviews and everything towards GodSaw's Turnbuckle here on the YouTube page. But in the terms of streaming it. But I think I'm going to take the live reactions over to my Twitch page, and we're just going to see how everything ends up playing out over there. So with that being said, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed everything, and have a great rest of your day.